Okay, so once you get to the isometric circle part of all this, we are going to start by making your cylinder. So we're in isometric grab paper. We've got our snap on, we've got our grid on. We're going to type in well, first of all, let's look at this. If I just type in circle, even if I'm in isometric grid paper, it's still going to draw just a regular circle, but we want to draw it at like an angle. So we have to draw an ellipsed circle. So I'm going to click on this, delete it, type in EL, and I want to draw an iso circle, meaning that it's whatever distance I give it, it's going to be the same on all four sides, but just set at that 30 degree. So I for iso circle. And I need to know what the size of my object was. Mine happened to be, the one that we used was 5 squares wide. So I'm going to click here, and if you look, I've got kind of a weird angle at it. If I come down here to where the isometric drafting was, I can click on it and I can change it to isoplane left, top, or right. So let's do this as an experiment. What I want you to do is I want you to add to this drawing right here. I want you to put an isometric circle on all 3 sides of it. I know it's not what we have in our sketching, but it'll be good practice for how to do it correctly. So EL, enter, I enter, and we're on the top of our object. So let's try to get centered up someplace here. I don't know, it's not really going to let us center because of the way this snaps for this setup. So let's turn the snap off. We'll click here, and now you can see my circle is not headed the right direction. So let's come down here and change this from isoplane left to isoplane top, and that looks like it makes a whole lot more sense. So we'll click there just to draw any kind of random circle. So we'll go EL, enter, and now we're going to draw one on the side, and you notice, whoops, we forgot to hit ISO. So EL, enter, I enter. Click here and drag out. You can see we're not in the right way, so we want to change it to ISO left because that's our ISO left view. So click on this, go to isoplane left, click there, and you can kind of see what's going on there. And that's more accurate. Type EL, I enter, change it to isoplane right, since we're going to go through and do the right view now. Sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong menu. Click here, click there, and I've got 3 circles. You know, maybe make a little bit of an effort to center that, you know, ish. At least by the eye. So now if I was back over here and I was gonna draw my cylinder, I can type EL, enter, click and draw. Oh, forgot to hit I. EL, enter, I enter. Let's turn my snap back on. EL, enter, I enter. I'll snap here, and I'm in the wrong plane. So let's change my plane back to top, right? Because that's what I want. And I said mine's going to be 5 wide. So I'm coming out of a middle, which makes it kind of hard to make it 5 wide. So right now I am 2, 4, that's about 5, right? Because I'm 1, 2 this way, 1, 2 that way, and a half of each box. So click, and I've got a good circle going here. So now rather than try to make it twice, hit CP, enter. CP is copy. Choose my object. Select near the outside of it. It'll grab the midpoint, and then we'll drag it straight down. And whatever you went down in your sketch is what you should go down here. So hit enter. Okay? So now I've got a circle above, circle below. L, enter. And now I want to snap to the outside edge of this. So I've got to change. I've got to add a snap. So if I type in QUA, it'll bring me to the quadrant snap. So that's what I want. So it'll click there. The other thing I could have done is down here in the snap settings, I could have went to... right here. I could have went to object snap settings, and I could have set quadrant on also, so that every time I go to a quadrant, it'll do that. So now that I've selected that, you see it adds that to my list of O snaps that's going to choose. Now my snap itself, my object snap, my grid snapping is making it difficult for me to get at that quadrant, so I'm going to turn that off. Now you see it snaps to it. Enter. And I've done it once, so again, let's go CP. Enter. Enter. Choose this for a base point, slide it across, grab the quadrant again, and we should be good. Now we just got to go select our whole object, TR for trim, kick that out of there, and I've got a perfect cylinder. When you get later into the drawing, it's not this drawing, but the other thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to fill it an edge. Right? You're going to have to take this whole thing and round it off. Again, it's not on this drawing. It's on a different one, but you will be able to show what we're talking about here. If I type in EL, enter, and I hit I, enter, I'm going to turn my quadrant snap back on. if I remember right, it was 0.5 was the thing. We had to go over 2, down 2, right? So we'll get into that position. And so as I pull out, I'm in the wrong plane. So let's get it to ISO left, I think is what we want. Yep. And then if I pull to a spot where it's touching both edges, right, I'm good there. And then I can hit CP again. Enter. And then how are we going to grab it and use it? Let's try to grab it here. I think we screwed up someplace. CP. Enter. Let's grab it there and see if it'll let... Yep, and it drew a nice little tracking point so we could get it on both sides. And TR. I'll just select pretty much everything. Enter. And we can get rid of the back half of that. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. That. And that. And... oh, we're going to need to get rid of that in a minute, but we couldn't yet. So then actually we could probably use this one. Let's see if it works. Maybe we can do quadrant. Let's go L-enter. And quadrant should be on. Turn my snap off again. It is. It's snapping to that quadrant. Snaps to that quadrant. TR. Enter. Click that out of there. Click that out of there. And now I've got a nice fillet on the back side of that. So that should be enough to get you going and get you able to finish your other 13 drawings there so that you can do all of your isometric drawings. We'll come back in a little bit and we'll talk about how you're going to want to insert these in with viewports and to set your scale. But for now, good luck and go to work.